And roll tide to you, everybody. That's me down here in the corner, getting ready to listen to to our Coach Deboer's press conference. Just a reminder, I'm sure you saw the Tide goes 2-1 on the season as they win the game 38-14, 24 points, favored by 18 and a half at the close of wagering in Vegas over there. And it was a very impressive game for Ty Simpson, 24 of 29 for 382 yards, 4 touchdowns. I know he had 1 sack, but he lost 14 yards. But I'm going to talk to our running back coach about that. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and say it before anybody else does, I think. Thinking that if FSU is your worst game, and Ty really wasn't that bad overall, but that's his worst game. Let's go ahead and put Ty Simpson on the let's go ahead and put him on the list for the Heisman. Just go ahead and sign Ty Simpson up. You heard it here. I'm gonna say it, and whatever it is, what it is. I'm gonna say it. Put Ty Simpson on the list, but enough about that. It's the way the offense works. I mean, and the numbers are ridiculous. You go get a calculator and divide 24 by 29. You're going to come up with something a little bit higher than 80%. Interceptions. How many interceptions does he have on the season? Anyway, let's get to Coach Kalen Deboer, the victor today.
All right, Coach. We'll have Coach begin with his opening statement, and then we'll take questions. Take your hands up. We'll get to many questions we can. Coach.
Yeah, you bet. Thought we came ready to play, and liked especially what our response was when we got stopped on 4th down. The defense come out and really not hanging their heads, and just the very next play getting the takeaway. And so a lot of different directions that thing could have gone after getting stopped there. Offense takes over, takes advantage of it, and moves the ball down the field. So it was really good to see the response to some adversity there. Love to see us do a much better job at the 4th quarter, just finishing. Got some drops there that our guys don't make, and so we got to play better there. And then a couple penalties at the beginning of the 3rd quarter, just it's nonsense. I mean, we gave them a touchdown really because the ball would have been kicked out of the end zone. And so I love the energy on the sideline and I love the excitement, but we got to run off the field, right? So we just got to take care of those things because those are things that can kill you in a tight game. So one thing I do want to do, I want to shout out our fans because it's 11 o'clock kick in the morning, and just getting here earlier and all of that. I know people travel to get here, but appreciate the energy that they brought. And then also our student section. Just noticing that our student section was full from start to finish. Our guys feed off of that energy.
Good job,
they really
guys.
do. And we got to make sure we continue to do our part to, make them give them something to cheer about. So do appreciate them there. So zero turnovers again. Doing a good job. High priority of ball security, taking care of the football, and a couple more takeaways. So just again, guys. Got more pressure on the quarterback with the sacks, and so just I thought it was a good team game. Obviously, there's some things we got to clean up with the penalties in particular.
Thanks, Coach. Just start with Nick on the left.
Just a reminder, sacks for the day. You had LT Overton with 1, Yanzi Pierre with 1, Q Russo with 1, and the freshman London Simmons chimed in with a sack as well. And then we talk about drops. I don't know if I saw one by the running backs, but based on the early stats off of CBS Sports, say Jeremy Bernard was targeted 5 times and he got 4 receptions. Not sure if that one was a drop. Ryan Williams targeted 6 times and definitely had a huge drop in the end zone. And the young man, my man, Latsier Brooks, targeted 3 times, 2 receptions, but he did have a drop. Everybody's entitled to 1, but I think Ryan Williams on 4. I'm sure the receiver coach will address that this week.
Yeah, Ryan Williams first 100-yard receiving game for him since Georgia last year. What was the message to him to get him back on track, coming back into the lineup?
Yeah, I think he's just hungry to get back out there and do what he does, and so he missed last week and, wanted to be better than what he was in week 1. And so he's, went back to work and It was good to see him and Ty connect. Not some easy throws that I think get a guy going, both Ryan and Ty. But then also some of those deep sideline throws, those aren't the easiest. And so they worked extremely hard on them. We were very intentional on making sure the timing of those routes were good all week long in practice, and they went out and executed. So it was good to see him, do his thing, because he's obviously crazy explosive, especially once he has the ball in his hands.
Back right, Chase.
What'd you think of Ty Simpson's play? I think at one point he was like 13 out of 14, I think, by halftime, but just his accuracy and decision making.
Yeah, he's really, I think, in the last 2 games, slowed the game down, stayed within himself. I feel like just where his head's moving and where he's seeing and going through his read progressions, he's just been so disciplined on it. And, I think it continues to feed on itself when he just stays the course and, trusts the guys around him. It doesn't try to do too much. The reads will take you where the ball needs to go. And, it isn't a talent question, right? I mean, he can throw the ball where it needs to go and, has been super accurate. Unfortunately, we dropped a few balls for him at the end and, we're going to need those. But he's been playing really well the last 2 weeks. I think he's risen to the occasion. We challenged him last week a little bit and, like where his head's at.
Let's go to Katie on the front left.
Just building off that question, what kind of chemistry have you seen Ty be able to develop with the skilled players on offense that he's had nearly 90% completion over the last 2 games?
Yeah. They know that if they run their route hard, they're going to get the ball, right? And so they're flying around, doing their thing. What I really love, too, about the core right now is there's an unselfishness about it that's developing. And guys know that, hey, I might not be the primary, but I'm going to do my job. And then someone else might get the ball, and the next time it's going to come their way. I saw that happen a couple times today, and so the guys just playing for each other. We call some of them running around for the love of the game. And you're clearing out. You might get the ball. You always got to be ready, but you're running 100 miles an hour as fast as you can. Someone else coming underneath. I think Germ's touchdown that he had over the middle would be a great example of that, and us blowing out the secondary there and opening up that seam.
Emily Grace in the middle.
Yep.
Coach, what is your kind of immediate focal point that you want to hit on heading into the bye? I know you haven't had a chance to look at film, but what's kind of striking to you that you want to build off of?
Yeah, don't let off the gas. That's where we're at right now. We're just very intentional. We've been intentional, and when I say that, there's everything we do has purpose, and so moving with purpose, and just how we operate within the building, and the guys. Have an energy right now that's becoming contagious. They see and are reaping the rewards of it. They see what we're capable of. They know we're still so far from being where we need to be. But we've taken a couple steps here the last 2 weeks.
Let's go to Charlie, front row to right.
I really love the ladies when they have their questions. These are 2 top-notch reporters. I don't care. They have the best questions in the room. I agree. We do have to keep the gas going, just keep flat out going after this thing, man, because it's a lot of stiffer competition down the road, and they got a couple things they need to work on. I will talk about them Tuesday on Around the Herd, Tuesday at 7 p.m. I'll go over a lot of the little kinks and stuff and little chinks in our armor that we have to definitely smooth out.
You mentioned in your opening just the 4 sacks. How good was it to see you guys kind of finish at the quarterback today?
Yeah, that's great to see. Mixed in some pressure at times, but there were some sacks where our guys just won their one-on-ones and continuing to work off each other. There's a couple times the quarterback when they pass, there's going to be times where there's a lane that opens up, and they got good football players too. But for the most part, I thought. We were there, and it was next guy running to the ball carrier, running to the quarterback, and so just continue to harass and over and over and over, just being present. So I love the effort that the guys gave. We'll see more on the film, but it seemed positive.
Let's go to Joe, toward the back on the left there.
Coach, the team looks a lot tougher since the Florida State game. What's the best way, I guess, that you found to encourage that during the game week?
Yeah, I think we understand what we're capable of doing, and I think there's those older guys that have stepped up in their leadership role, And there's younger guys that got a feel of it in that first game and understood that it doesn't just happen by itself. You got to make it happen. You got to go will it to happen. And you don't just will it to happen on Saturdays. You got to will it to happen, during the course of the week. And so, Tuesday morning, you got to show up and you got to do your job. And, I just keep asking the guys when that alarm clock goes off, we're popping up on a bed and we got a purpose, and that's to go practice today, to go play. And we just got to keep that urgency that I feel like our guys have right now.
Let's go to Colin, right side.
Hey, Kalen. There was seemingly, some doubt from the fan base about, Ryan Williams and his impact and what he could do. And I'm curious, did you see a guy who, wanted to play with a chip on his shoulder, with something to prove heading into, I guess, SEC play?
I think sitting out last week, he certainly. I think that goes for any player that has to sit out for any type of injury. You love the game and you love being out there and you miss it. And so he had a great week of practice, and I think a lot of it has to do with just being on the sideline last week and not being able to play. I would expect the same out of some of the guys that, we're hopeful to get back here very soon, here in a couple weeks. So, not that the guys take it for granted, but I think they really you really have a different perspective when you're sitting on the sideline, and all the work that you're putting in, puts you in that spot. You want to go out there and get your opportunity. And I think, again, he took advantage of his opportunity, not just today, but all week long in practice.
Okay, we'll finish up with Joe, second round of Joe.
Coach, you gave running backs 15 carries, and they mustered 45 yards. Are you pleased with the production of the running game, and is the key to getting more production either on the running back group, the offensive line, or maybe something different?
Yeah, I think there's certainly an area where we can improve in the run game. We have to. It's execution. It's probably that's where it starts. I think the ability to be physical exists, and we just got to continue to work on it. I know the guys want to do it, but that's definitely an area where I can see us continuing to emphasize. And I'll watch the film exactly. What was the execution, or were we not technically sound and executing our job? So we definitely, when you rattle it off like you just did with the numbers, that certainly leads me to believe there's a lot more potential. So I think. Pass opens up the run opens up the pass. And so, I thought early on the game, we had a commitment to running, and that opened up the play action, the windows in behind.
Ooh, thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Finally, he said it. Usually I've heard him say, the pass opens up the run, which I'm like, okay. Yeah, I'm from the South. I don't speak that language. But he said it. He said the pass over the run over the pass. I take it. And I truly think, because while Wisconsin is not necessarily Georgia or Tennessee, they're not ULM, but it still was. It was a place to test out a lot of things, to go through the whole play chart, do what you're going to do. But I always think these coaches still hold things back. And when as physical as the season will be, I just don't know how, you got to pick your spots when it comes to really running this ball. And I think we're capable of it. I think you're going to have to, based on what I'm seeing on TV today. But that's all I got right now. I just wanted to get that press conference out to you. Please like and share, subscribe to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. And like I said, we'll see you Tuesday on my show Around the Herd. You also catch me Thursday between 5 and 7. I have a JV football schedule I try to adhere to until that's over. 5 to 7 on Thursday, but definitely 7 p.m. on Tuesdays. We'll see you, and thank you for joining me today. And always remember, as I say around here on Tight Sports, the Alabama Football Megacast. Roll, Tide, roll.